This episode of the Big Skip Energy Podcast is brought to you by Highland Mortgage, where your home journey starts and ends with confidence. Whether you're a first-time buyer looking to refinance or ready to move into your dream home, or simply have questions about the market and want a free consultation, Highland Mortgage is here to guide you every step of the way. With
Welcome
personalized
to
mortgage
the Big Skip
solutions
Energy
tailored to fit your
Podcast. How we
unique
doing today,
needs,
man?
their team
Doing
of
great,
experts
Skip.
make sure
Thanks for
you're
having me.
informed,
Good to see
supported,
you.
and empowered.
Yeah, good to see you
every
too, man.
decision.
This week of
And here's the
Thanksgiving.
best
Now,
part.
for those of y'all listening,
Highland
this
Mortgage isn't
obviously
just
is not
about
airing
numbers
the
and
week of
paperwork.
Thanksgiving,
It's
but
about
you know
making
what?
the process
He took some
simple,
time out of his day,
stress-free,
so
and
you know
even
what? I
exciting.
do appreciate
If
that.
you're ready
I do
to take that
appreciate
next
that.
step,
Now, Malik,
visit
for listeners of my show
highlandmtg.com
that
today
may
and
not
start
know
your
you,
journey
have
to
never come
home
across you on
sweet home.
LinkedIn, whatever the case may be, take a
Mhm.
second and introduce yourself for me.
All right, sounds great.
You want to be
My name's
successful?
Malik Wilkes. Been in
You
the
want to grow your
industry
business?
for about
You
14,
want to
15
dominate
years now.
the day.
I'm a huge advocate
Then
for the
you're
mortgage
gonna need
industry.
big
Want to see it continue to
skip
grow. Huge advocate for the
energy.
education of the folks in our industry. I actually currently sit as the co-chair of the education network for the Mortgage Bankers Association. Work for a credit union. I am lead the mortgage origination team at the credit union. I'm also involved with the local chapter, or my local chapter of NAMBA, where I sit as vice president of the South Florida board for NAMBA. Very involved with my university that I graduated from, Florida International University. That's another passion of mine. I'm on the alumni board of directors for Florida International University as well.
Very good, man.
I know you're a mug person.
What's
So
that?
I know you're a big fan of mugs.
I
wanted to show
am.
My
Look at
NAMBA
that!
mug.
Look at that Namba shameless plug. I love it.
Shameless plug with the NAMBA mug. I wanted to make sure I had that on. So
Yeah, see, I'm slacking today, man. I don't
yeah.
have a Big Skip Energy cup with me. I've
Right.
got a plain old yellow cup. So
Yeah.
that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. I tell you what, you send me a Space Coast one, I might feature you. You know, I'm just saying.
I will buy one and get one to you.
Well, listen, you are super involved in a lot of things, and I really admire that, and I encourage other people to get involved. Now, before we start talking about that, though, give me a little bit of a rundown. How did you get into the mortgage business?
Yeah, pretty similar story to everyone else. You didn't plan
Imagine
it.
that.
Yeah, you didn't plan it. Went to school. My plan was for law school. Got an internship. Yeah, got an internship at a law firm. Hated it. Decided that this is not the route for me. And then, I ran into a friend who was doing loan origination. He got me a job, and this was right around everything going south. So right around the financial crisis. So I started, and then I didn't last long at that point because everything kind of went south altogether. So I went into the travel industry for a little bit, but I had a friend who was another LO that, hey, they're hiring here. I know you started doing this before. Do you want to come back into it? And I ended up going back, and once I got back in, that was it. Haven't left. We kind of work that way. Once you're in mortgages, it's hard to leave at that point. So
Yeah. You
so
and I are
I've been in
like,
it since.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So did you intentionally go with a credit union, or was that just the best opening for you at the time?
Yeah, it wasn't an intentional. It was just the best opening for me at the time. Joining the credit union and becoming a loan officer there at the credit union, and then I started working my way up through the ranks with the credit union. I will say it's definitely a different environment from what I saw working for banks or IMBs. It's just it's a little bit of a different feel. Some in some good ways and some bad. And you do see at times in the past that credit unions maybe do not adapt to the change in the mortgage industry as quickly as others.
Yeah.
But again, in terms of how they treat their team and their staff, you see a difference in that as well. That's more positive. So again, you take the good and bad, but for me, it's been great. I really have enjoyed working for a credit union and being a part of us growing our mortgage footprint.
Talk a little bit about that real quick. From when you started at Space Coast to now, how has the division grown as far as your volume, your outreach, that kind of thing? Talk to me a little bit about that.
We've done some different things. Again, I think this is what you will hear from pretty much anyone at a credit union, is that your membership base at a credit union is generally looking to you for banking and car loans, right? So your checking account, they don't really think of you first when it comes to mortgages.
Absolutely right.
So really, lowest hanging fruit in step one is just getting in front of your members and letting them know, hey, we do mortgages and we do it well, and this is what we offer. So that's that has been something that we focused on, and I see that happening with a lot of my friends in the credit unions, that they're focusing on that to naturally build their footprint and pipeline just using the membership base they already have. The second aspect, again, we've started doing things in the community, really going out to events. We really focused on education of our loan officer, really using the Mortgage Bankers Association tools, School of Mortgage Banking. I have about 3 or 4 loan officers who recently became AMPs. So we are using those tools to better our craft, being smarter, being sharper, especially in a time where you're kind of quote unquote down in volume. It's a good opportunity to use that time to better train yourself. So when we are busier, we're that much faster and smoother and efficient.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, man. And if you would share something, because the problem that you mentioned, and of course you're aware of this, is that a lot of membership for credit unions, they don't think of them as mortgage lenders. And that's a big challenge, as I'm sure you've noticed across the country, right? With credit unions, they don't think mortgage, they think personal loans, that kind of thing, and consumer lending. So I know you mentioned that y'all have really made a concerted effort over the years to get out in the community, kind of educate people about, hey, this is what we do. But what are some specific strategies that you've seen, a lot of success with as far as actually getting that message out effectively? What bear the most fruit for you?
Yeah, I think it's really kind of tied to our overall financial literacy outreach that we've been doing as a credit union. If we can tie in home ownership into that financial literacy conversation, then as we're going through that journey with our members, they are more likely to come to us when it's time for them to apply for their mortgage, right?
Yeah.
And time for them to actually go down that road of buying a home. So I think that has been the most successful, because we've tried to, email campaigns, text campaigns, those types of things. And yeah, you get some, but
yeah, but playing the long game is a little bit more effective.
Yeah, playing the long game has been more effective, definitely.
Yeah.
And work with them, and then they come to you. It's at that point you're developing trust that, hey, not only are they looking out for me for my checking account and my car loan, but they're looking out for me for when I'm ready to buy my home. And that's important, especially with a purchase like a mortgage, which is a home, as I should say. It's such a big purchase. It's such a pivotal time. You want to work with someone you trust. And I think people trust their credit unions. I just don't think we've done enough to let them know what they can do with their credit unions from a mortgage standpoint.
No, I agree with that. I think it's really cool though that y'all have focused on capturing more of that mind share, so that you're really trading value, for that. So that way you say, hey, look, we're going to do this effort for financial literacy. Obviously, a home is part of it, which, as a side note, I see a lot of financial institutions doing financial literacy courses that don't bring in homeownership at all in that, which is really bizarre to me. But anyway, that's a different topic for a different day. But, I think doing that and bringing that value to it, people respond to that better than just throwing stuff constantly, in their face. Oh, hey, find your home with us. We got more. Yeah, that's great. But tied into the whole picture. I love that. I think that's fantastic. Was there anything else that you want to add on that?
No, I think, I completely agree with you there. I think it is again, we've seen the most success from that versus, hey, just we offer mortgages. It just, people will hold on to that more.
Yeah. Well, and that's really why I asked the question, because a lot of financial institutions out there, they say, hell yeah, they don't know that we offer mortgages or fill in the blank service, right? And they say, let's go advertise. Let's just hammer the advertising. It's expensive. They do. I'm sure that there are plenty of studies out there that measure the efficiency of this, but I'm willing to bet that if you tie it in with other things, it's going to be way more effective. Just like shift gears a little bit. Let's talk industry involvement. All right. So I got to know you through our AMP courses, and of course through the CMB with the Mortgage Bankers Association. Talk to me a little bit about why those two designations in particular were important to you.
Yeah, I thought it was one of those things that I don't think I think it's too much of an industry secret just to say it that way. It really should be stuff that we should be doing,
Yeah.
as an industry more wide based. I think the education you get through the School of Mortgage Banking courses about the overall uh, nuts to bolts process of mortgages, and after the loan is closed, coming from myself, who spent my entire career on the origination side, it was important for me to know what happens after that loan is closed,
Hmm.
and how that can impact the decisions of the products that I'm able to offer, the rates that I'm able to offer on the front end. And I think everyone in the industry should have at least a baseline knowledge on that. Really, if we're going to be a really well educated industry, maybe not go all the way through it. Maybe that's not for everyone, but I especially School of Mortgage Banking 1, I think really that should be something that everyone takes.
Yeah.
Just that get that baseline overall knowledge of what the industry is and understanding all of the components that make up a mortgage process. So
Hmm.
it was important for me to do it. I took the first class, and then immediately, and you were in that class with me in the School of Mortgage Banking 1. Immediately after taking that class, I knew that I wanted to continue to go all the way through to my CMB. I didn't go into that class wanting to do the CMB.
Really?
No, I went into the class just kind of, hey, I want to know more.
Oh, okay. That's very, I see.
And
Yeah. I didn't realize that. So
yeah,
I
but
was
once I
actually there for that whole reason, is to
yeah,
finish
yeah.
and be.
I know a lot of people were. I
Yeah.
remember a class that a lot of people were like, yeah, I'm
But
doing
yeah, but there were several that were in the same boat as you. They just wanted,
yeah.
and they actually stopped with one.
Right. Yeah, there was a few that stopped that one. Yeah, I saw that. So, but after the course, I knew I was going to go and continue to do it and get all the way through the CMB. And so I did. I went through the second and third class, had to do it virtually because if you
Because of
remember,
timing. Yeah.
yeah, we took our class, School of Mortgage Banking 1, right before everything went down. I think we were February of 2020, right? That was when,
Yep.
yeah. So
Yep.
it was right before everything went down with COVID. And, I, for a few months, was saying, hey, once we open back up, I'll just do it in person. Because I like to do in person. I'm better
So do
at
I. Yeah, I had to do the SOMB2, which for those of y'all listening deals with secondary marketing, warehouse lending, that kind of thing.
right.
And that was brutal to take virtually. I mean, that's
Tough.
not knocking the instructors at all. It's a very tough topic. And I started in the business in secondary, and it's still hard to keep attention virtually for that. But luckily, I did 3 live. But yeah, you're absolutely right. In person's the way to go.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I wanted to do, but it just got to a point that I couldn't wait around anymore for the world to open back up. So I just did it
Hmm.
did it virtually and got it done. But yeah, it was great. It was a great process. I mean, love this even on virtually. School of Mortgage Banking 3 was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun.
It's really a fun course to take. So anyone who's thinking about it, I really suggest doing it because I think it was a great process, and it gives you just, again, especially for those of you who may be on the sales side, whether it be origination or you're doing you're a vendor that does sales to different lenders,
Yeah.
having an understanding of what the challenges are for all of your lender partners that you're working with is important. You'll be able to have a conversation on a different level with those folks that you're meeting, C-suite folks and whatnot, to help you make your sale. So I think it's very important across the board, not just for those who are doing mortgages themselves, but those who are actually our vendor partners. The knowledge will help you too.
Yeah, 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 and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, there's 2 big takeaways from that. One is that we are in a very fortunate industry in which we have those kind of opportunities. There are a lot of sales industries out there that don't provide those type of educational opportunities. Yeah, sure, they provide some, ongoing education, that kind of thing, some CE credits, that kind of stuff. But they don't have the formal, accredited designations that we can achieve in our industry. And I think you're absolutely right. Whether or not you are in sales or in ops or whatever it's important to know the functionality of all the different pieces, because we also are in an industry in which there are so many parties and so many
Yep.
different things that go into the manufacturing process. And it's just, you know, you said something a minute ago too about the best kept secret, right? You know, there's, I can't remember the numbers if you know them better than me. It's like there's like 1,100 CMBs out there, 700 so are active, I think. Is that right? Out
Yeah,
of the
something
tens
like
of thousands of loan officers out there and the bajillion more people out there,
right.
right?
Yeah.
There's no reason for it to be that best kept secret, right? Hey, I'd be happy if everybody was a CMB, right? Of course, it's not for everyone, right?
Right.
But yeah, we got to get the word out there and be sure that people understand what it takes, what all goes into it, and why it's important. And it's not just a feather to put in your cap. I mean, sure, that's part of it, but there's actual functional reasons for it too. So,
Yeah.
talk to me a little bit about other industry involvement. Yeah, you mentioned, of course, that you're on your board locally. You're super involved with your university, that kind of thing. You are an involved person. Why does that matter to you?
Well, yeah, I think it's for a couple different reasons.
'Cause you're a
One,
family man. You got a lot of demands on your time.
it's I for those who don't know, I have a young child at home, right? Well, he's at daycare right now, but he's he's about 1.5. So that is definitely a time time restraint for
Yeah,
sure.
man.
So I volunteer to be so involved in the industry and in different industries for the reason of really giving back. I mean, I really
Mhm.
feel like the mortgage industry has done so much for me. I feel like the Mortgage Bankers Association and the education I was able to receive through the MBA has helped me so much in my career and my development that it's important for me to give back and help others.
Mm.
And that would be in getting more people involved in the industry, helping younger folks in the industry who are just starting out, maybe have some mentorship or something to follow.
Yeah.
Working with my team and my LOs as a really just a role model. If you see me doing these types of things, you're more likely to do it yourself as one of my LOs, which is why you see some of my LOs doing the AMP and so many of them want to become CMBs is because of the fact that I did it. It wasn't if I didn't do it, they may not even know what it was, right?
Right.
So having us be involved, just kind of shine a light on the industry and the positives that it offers, and just really work on helping more people get into homes. And if we're just a better connected, better educated industry, that tent of people who buy homes and get into home ownership will grow.
Mm.
That's just my belief. So I try to make myself as visible as possible, and I'll talk about it. One of the things I started doing, and I'm going off on a tangent here,
Oh, please.
but one of the things I started doing on social media is I created I had separate accounts. I had on Instagram, I had my personal account, and I had like a mortgage account, and then
Right.
just mortgage shop on it. And I ended up just not doing that and posting everything on my personal account.
Yeah.
I'll occasionally post a mortgage topic on my Instagram, and it's amazing how many friends of mine in my network that really didn't know I was in the mortgage industry, and I get a bunch of questions from them but some of them are going through some things that they can use some good advice.
Yeah.
From someone who's
Yeah,
in the
sure.
industry. So by sharing that, it really allowed me to connect to those friends on a different level and really help them out. So that's really it. I mean, help out as much as you can, shine a bright light on the industry, and that's really the reason that I stay involved.
Hell, man, I didn't even know that we weren't following each other on Instagram. I just went on there and followed you. So there you go. You got one more.
There we go. Perfect.
All right. So as we kind of draw to a close, this episode's going to air between holidays, right? Between
Right.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, that kind of thing. Let's do a little holiday this or that for you. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. All right. Are we going to let's do turkey or ham?
I'm going to go with ham.
Ham. Okay. All right. Sweet or savory ham?
Sweet.
Okay. We doing corn on the cob or cream corn?
On the cob.
On the cob. All right.
Gotta do the
All right.
on the
You seem to be very definitive about that one.
Yeah, the on the cob one has to be. That's
Okay.
It's a different taste.
All right. Dressing or stuffing? There is a difference.
What is the difference between dressing and stuffing?
So stuffing is typically, of course, it's actually in the bird.
Right.
Dressing is baked in a pan.
I see. All right, I'm gonna go with stuffing then.
Okay. All right. All right. You want the good flavor. All right. Is mac and cheese a holiday dish?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So sweet potato casserole, yes or no?
Yes.
All right. With marshmallows or candied nuts on top, pecan.
Candy nuts. Candy nuts.
Ooh, okay, okay. All right. For kind of a holiday dessert, let's go with pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie.
This one's tough.
It is tough. It is tough
Oh,
because it's subtly different.
I know, but both so good. Uh, I am going to, this is, all right, I'm going to lean slightly sweet potato pie.
Okay. All right. With Cool Whip or no?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's got to be Cool Whip too. It can't be like
Yeah,
the Ready
it
Whip.
can't be anything. It has to
No,
be
no, no,
actual.
no,
Right,
exactly.
yeah. Mhm.
All right. And favorite thing about the holiday season?
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about the holiday season is really the opportunity to kind of obviously spend time with family,
Yeah.
reconnect with your family. I think a lot of us in our industry, we kind of, and Terry Aiken had a good article that he posted on LinkedIn recently about not really don't stop working during the holidays, and
Mhm.
I couldn't agree with it more. I think it's a really good opportunity to set your goals for 2025.
Yeah.
Look at what you're doing, continue to network, continue to reach out to people. If you have partners that are referral sources, make sure you're checking in on them on the holidays. That is important.
Yeah.
Don't just disconnect completely and
Oh, it's
say
a great time to rekindle the human connection.
100%. And you really need to focus on that during the holidays and enjoy that. Obviously, enjoy some time off, enjoy some time with your family, reconnecting on the human side.
Well, it's funny because I have two posts that I just made the last few days. One was, "Hey, it's a great time to keep working through. Don't just hit the snooze button."
Right.
And two is a webinar I'm putting on for business planning goal setting. It's a great time to kind of do that, reflect on your past year, and also get ready mentally for the next year. So,
Couldn't agree more.
thank you so much for coming on the show, man. It's been fun. You and I served together on the network committee for CMB, so I'm looking forward to doing that with you. And
Yeah,
here's
got
to a
some
great
fun things coming.
2025, man.
Yeah, we got some fun things coming. We got a amazing race in Vegas. It's gonna be fun.
That's all right. Very good. Thanks again for coming on.